Hello everyone, I am Sheikh Naimuddin pursuing BCom final year in Nizam College. It is a part of partial fulfillment for the requirement for the award of degree of Commerce, a project on Swift. And welcome to the third session of Swift programming. In this section, we're gonna be going to covering of the three of the different categories of operators. I want to cover this because they are all linked together, and those are assignment, arithmetic, and compound assignment operators. Now, see here, I have just left this so you can see the 7 categories and the different types, and we are going through the operators. Assignment operator is a push way of saying the equal sign. Therefore, let's go where a is equal to 1. I have just assigned a value to a. If I say where b is equal to a, again I have just assigned it, so the equal sign is the assignment operator. Our arithmetic operators are used on all numerical values. You have 4 subclasses. You have basic, remainder, increment, decrement, and unary, plus or minus. One of these unary types. So basic arithmetic operators are very similar to what you learn in school. So add, subtract, multiply, divide, those kind. The only difference is how they represent. You have plus, minus, multiply, and divide. The rules of mathematical operational priority applies here. So for instance, it multiplies before add or subtract. So I suggest that if you are unfamiliar with this principle, then review which of these subsides. Review the max so that you make sure that after cover it off. The next of this is subcategories is the review the max so that you make sure that after cover it off. The next of this is subcategories is the remainder operator, which gives you what's left after dividing a number by another. So for instance, I want to create a variable for x is equal to 100. What I do is something called modulus. I create a percentage sign. If I said modulus 9, the remainder is 1. So if I do divide this by 9, I know that actually what I would get is 99. Of 100 minus 99 is 1. If you may be familiar with this from Objective C and C and so forth, but actually there is a difference in Swift. I will show that. So I have I've gone say var a y, and I say that is equal to 7, and I'm going to actually say modulus, and this is where the difference is. So I have done modulus 2.5, and you see over here it giving me the float value back. That's why the difference from Objective C and C, where could only do this with integers. You can actually do it now with Swift with float or double and floating point numbers. Next, let's move on the other subcategory, which is increment decremental. This is where it allows you to add and or subtract 1 from the value. So if we want to take var e, I am gonna say that's 10. Now if you want to go e plus plus, that is my incremental, and I'm going to now look at e, and you see change that to 11, where you place the plus plus or minus minus. So if you do e minus minus, that does the same thing but take it away, that's decrementing. Where you place this actually determines on how it's performed. So if I put 2 plus plus before the e, you see actually increments before doing something. So I am going to say f is equal to plus plus e. My f is now equal to 11. However, if I do e plus plus, that's actually making f equal to e. Before the 10, we then have unary minus changes. I'm not going to talk about you no plus, because and plus is simply returns the value of the variable, so unary minus. However, I take a very one and call that for h equal to 6. Okay, now if I do where I am going to say where I is equal to minus h, which is minus 6. If I do where j is equal to minus I, it's back to being 6 again. It change it from negative to positive or positive to negative. Okay, so finally on the last stop of this while stop tour of these three operator types, we got the compound assignment. These are a basic way of saying take the value I have add or subtract, divide or multiply another value on to it. So for example, if I take variable, call it k, is equal to 100, I can then go k plus equal 20. It's now saying take my variable k, which is 100, it's equal to itself plus 20, which over here as c is 120. I could do many things. I can do multiply equals 2000, I could do minus equals 80, divide equals 5. These can be very useful when you performing a complex calculation. They that are either incrementing or by certain amount over add the variables in which the loops and so forth. You should understand all this together. The reason I covered all this in one section is just because they are linked, and so you can got mathematical and assignment, and the compound combines them all together. In the next section we are gonna be moving talk more about comparison and ternary conditional operators. Thank you. Please like and subscribe for more updates.